trying to say. And you guys understand?
Build up involved, but yeah, I'm not necessarily.
You guys know that
calm down, bro. Like, why are you so like hype? We're not
because
trying to fight
I
you,
am so angry because I don't believe in free speech. I believe that if somebody is wrong about something, the government or an agent should be able to walk up to that person's house and blow them away. I don't want people that are speaking that are wrong.
That's a little far.
I don't want people speaking. No, I don't want people speaking that are wrong.
Hood, if I may, I'm going to counter Imperious. Imperious,
I understand. We got to pass the mic, Imperious, too, because we are under free speech, so we got to pass the mic a little bit.
No, I'll be quick. I won't be long. Imperious, I understand the monarchy point of view, but right now, Trump's highest level that he can achieve is like Hood said, maybe a Pinochet. Are you happy with the Pinochet level of law in America? That's Pinochet.
It's not Pinochet. Like Pinochet was a military coup. Like he already controls the military. He's already the commander in chief. He already has the legal authority.
I think Trump is still soft. I think he's soft.
He is soft. He's soft because nobody can. He's soft because everybody cannot stomach seeing the military gun people down in the street. Why is it wrong? I need to know why everybody has a. I need to know why people have a moral opinion without the intelligence to develop a moral foundation. I don't want people talking that can't explain why something's right or wrong other than their titties tell them it is.
Because for decades, academia has diluted a majority of generations. I don't think it's wrong.
No. Academia has made people gay, but let's stay on topic. Why is it wrong for your symbols of authority to blow people down in the street? Let's think about that.
Why do human beings have the innate right to live? Answer me that.
Why do you live?
Because we deem it so.
Because I haven't been called by God yet. I don't have a right to live. My body isn't my own.
Stay on the politics.
See, these are why these secular weaklings always lose, Vanta.
Every American,
I know.
The whole point of the show is
the pursuit of happiness. Life is number one.
We're getting way too deep into philosophicals, though. We're getting way too deep into philosophicals here. Let's not go far down that line.
I don't want to go.
No, it all goes back to a singular ontological point of view. I don't give a shit about people's opinion unless they have a reason to think it.
You don't care about other people.
Right.
Why should I care about other people? Why is that right?
You don't have.
Why is caring about other people right?
It's not even a matter of
They just assume. You're imposing a morality like me caring about others is somehow a good thing.
Imperious. Hold on. You're yelling a lot. And I don't want to yell.
Because I'm so frustrated.
I'm not done talking. I want to make the point, bro. What I was trying to say is that it is not about right or wrong. It's a matter of practicality. The morality of caring about other people in a group dynamic when you have survival against death, when it's your survival versus the nature and other people out there, caring about others just becomes a practicality. That's how group dynamics form. That's where
it's not practical to care about a city that's lost.
But that's where the in group.
Why is it wrong? Nuke it from orbit. Why is it wrong?
In group. We're talking in group, out group, friend, enemy distinction.
I don't care white, black, green, purple. Nuke it from orbit.
But you're
going a little far. You're going far.
But
why is that far? You're just because it makes you feel it's far.
No,
you understand what I'm saying?
No, there's things coming out of the cities that we're not like thinking about.
I don't see it. What does a city create?
Wait, hold on. What about the judgment that happened in Chicago, the handgun judgment, whatever? That actually makes it gives the teeth to the Second Amendment. What was it?
The Second Amendment is just an abstract. I don't care about. You're talking about practicality. If you're talking about a city, this is what I'm saying. They don't want to hear it, Vanta.
That's exactly.
They don't want to hear it. Nobody wants to hear it. So this is why I get mad. Because you don't. You're just saying shit without having a foundation.
No. It reinforces it for others as well. The people that never really grew up with civics or anything like this, it makes it real for them.
This is far beyond civics. This is philosophy to the highest level.
You kind of have to take it slowly because a lot of people they're still trying to catch their feet with politics and philosophy and all that.
But then they should obey and follow what I tell them.
Well,
you understand what when I was around superior intellect, you know what I was told? Children are to be seen and not heard. Shut up and sit down. I was told that at 22 years old. I was told that at 22 years old. and I shut up and I sit down.
Imperious, real quick. Let me say something real quick.
Yeah, right. Banda, you got it.
All right. I agree with the sentiments, okay? The problem is, in a country this big, it's demographics at some level. If you're throwing your will against 330 million people, you don't have the numbers to keep power.
Oh, yes, we do. That's why we're importing Catholics. We're going to wipe you all out. Do you understand who is the number one demographic being imported to this country?
Well, it's also the number one demographic being removed.
Yeah, Imperius is right. No, he's right. He's right.
I don't know.
Do you know the Catholic? Do you know the Catholic control? Do you know we control the government? Yeah. 7 out of your 9 Supreme Court justices, 25 senators, a quarter of the House are Catholic.
Wait. The same Catholics support the last like 5 popes?
Yeah,
who said some wacky stuff.
Yeah. What did he say that's wacky? That gays don't exist? That transsexualism don't exist?
Wait, so you're cool with killing?
You know that we say that they don't exist as people, that they're brain injured? Do you know that they say that transgenderism doesn't exist? It is a mental illness. We don't believe in transgender people. They don't exist. They're called mentally ill idiots.
Okay, can we go back to Trump and Chicago and all this?
Let's go back to the original ontological point. Without a foundation, you don't have a fucking voice. Follow. People need to learn to follow. There are too many chiefs and not enough Indians.
I agree. I agree with that point.
Putting yourself up as the king in this situation.
It's not me. It's Rome that's the king. I am insignificant. I stand on the shoulders of the greatest amalgamation of humans in the collective history of humanity. I don't have an opinion. My opinions are not mine.
So if your opinion's not yours, then you need to shut the fuck up and listen to other people's opinions.
You need to shut the fuck up because we wiped out continents, you little bitch. Who wiped out continents, you little faggot?
I'm about to go full British.
Yo, what is up with the energy, man?
Talk, you little bitch who has 2.9 billion.
Yo, Imperious.
You little nigger bitch, shut up.
Yo, what is up with the energy, man?
Imperious.
He wants to threaten me? You want to threaten a Catholic? We rule the world, you little bitch.
Hold on, Imperious. I thought you said you were going to come up and not break the TOS.
Not if he didn't say it first. What did he do first?
I'm not even.
He did it first.
Hold on, I'm not even.
You asked me not to respond to some jigaboo.
And you did. You did. I'm not even tripping about that. I'm making a larger point. Because hold on. You came.
The point is that anything I say or do is valid and sinless because we define right or wrong. Can you argue against that? Jesus Christ himself said to Peter, what you loosened on heaven.
Let's play that game.
I don't actually have to argue against it. No, stop.
It's wrong because you value your life.
I don't have to actually argue against it because I don't know why that's even on the floor at this point. We were talking about Brandon Johnson. We were talking about Chicago. We were talking about the Insurrection Act. Because that was actually relevant to the whole point. I don't want to get into the deep base philosophy of why you should live and who should die and who should be the ultimate king. I don't even know why we got off on that whole direction, other than Imperious taking us there. That being said, Imperious, you came in stupid hot. Don't even understand why. We had no previous fight to pick up from. I don't understand the energy you have right now. So Imperious, let's start over. Let's refocus the conversation. Let's reframe the linguistics and get back to the whole question of Brandon Johnson, the Insurrection Act. How far could that go? Will they wind up? I don't think he's going to even arrest Brandon Johnson, but God damn it sounds good though.
But to be honest with you,
I will simplify it down for the lowest common denominator for you. If you don't have an ontology that has a deference away from violence, what is right and wrong is defined by who is stronger.
Of course it is.
Okay. See that, and then so what is that? Why don't we take that to the reality of Chicago?
Okay, then stay on
Chicago. None of you have it. Okay, again, I can't say any. This is what I'm saying. You act like I am shipping out.
You literally asked a question, and people jump in.
And he can't answer. He screams and he threatens me, and then I get
one at a time. Would you like to continue?
Answer the question. Anyone can answer the question to me. Does anyone have an ontology that does not rely on force here? And if you don't, tell me why 2.9 billion Catholics shouldn't kill you all.
All right, Paul, anybody want to take that up?
Nothing exists on planet Earth that doesn't involve force.
Josh, welcome to the conversation, by the way.
Oh, I'm an authoritarian. I'm along there with Imperius.
I mean, I don't even disagree with the whole argument. I just don't understand
and then
why
we
we're
take it to
having
our
it
next
here
thing.
now, but-
Anybody that has a fucking voice that isn't right or follow the rules, cut their fucking tongue out and burn them alive.
And Imperius, can you be more like eloquent? God damn it!
I'm talking to blacks. I'm talking to blacks, not intellectuals.
Damn, man, like you have that much respect for Hood.
You better earn my respect. You gotta earn my respect.
I thought Hood had your. I thought you had Hood's respect, and vice versa.
What happened to you?
Respect no one that doesn't bow to Rome.
Imperius, you did say you were a good boy on Hood's channel, and last time with you and Catch Kid, you guys were civilized. Keep that civilized energy, but yeah, anyway, yeah.
So,
all right, let's get back on the topic.
Yeah, Bandit.
All right, so, okay, let's role play this out. Okay. Trump does the Insurrection Act. Next logical step he'll probably do is, which he could do because he actually has control of the majority of houses and senates of all the states and of Congress. He could do a congressional vote to change basically amendments at that point. He could do a constitutional convention at that point.
Not without Congress, but he could suspend elections and stay in term for.
He has enough to do it in Congress because he can
wish
get rid of
that
Elon
true.
Omar. Elon Omar's district's gone. He can get to the 60 votes.
I wish.
I wish it was
It was
true.
two-thirds.
Like
He needs
I wish it
two-thirds.
was true. We need more seats, both in House and Senate, to actually.
Have you guys seen real quick? Have you guys seen where the signings for Dems and Republicans in the last year? Republicans gained almost 2 million votes. Pennsylvania is a hard red state. Nevada, which hasn't been red in 25 years, is now red. All right, he's gonna get the houses he's gonna get all the houses and
And
all
also,
states. He can do a constitutional.
Yeah, you're
convention.
talking future tense. What it could be, not necessarily true, right? Because there is a lot of pushback. There's a lot of claims on the left that technically are valid. It really boils down to the concept of
I'm
how
going by
far
what the voter registration is.
Yeah,
That's all I have.
I understand that point that you just made, like to Bandit's point, right? Like about the pushback. Okay, so are you going to be in alignment with what the D's are pushing in Virginia?
No, I'm far.
I'm not. I'm saying colloquial you. You know what I'm saying? When I say you, I'm just saying like the voter. Is the voter that has like, kids, family, are they going to be like, with the transgender stuff, like the women in sport or the, trans in sports and all that? They're not going to align with that. So it's you either vote for this or you vote for that.
No. It's really about the concept of we hope.
No,
Like
but to Banner's point though, with the registrations, you're seeing the difference.
Yeah, but New Jersey's going to be red. How insane is that?
This is implying that people are just basically going to continue the status quo of we're all going to diplomatically discuss things and come to a conclusion.
I'm not
No,
saying
I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that at all.
Opposite of that.
So in that point, all metro cities become pretty much exactly what the problem. Well, we on the right would claim.
I
These
don't
large
think,
metro
I
cities
don't think you guys
Not
understand
really.
the
There's
power
more
of a constitutional
walkaways.
convention.
There's more walkaways from the Democratic Party right now.
Don't disagree there, right? But it doesn't matter, right? You're still, even if it's like 30% of population, right? It's 30% of a population that it's entrenched in the city.
No, but if it's 30% of people that actually vote, because the largest voting bloc doesn't vote. But if these people do vote, that's game over. 30% is massive.
This
guys,
is also.
I don't think you guys are understanding what I'm saying by constitutional convention. That means every single right is fair game. There's no, everything doesn't matter. Literally, you don't have speech. He can make anything he wants. I don't think you guys understand the power of a constitutional convention.
I just have a question.
You wouldn't even have to get to that point. As soon as he enacts that, you're done. It's suspension.
No,
Josh, I have a question real quick, if I may. Do you guys actually believe in voting? Because I think that's corny. You can't vote your way out of this kind of bullshit, man. I'm sorry.
We believe in represent or like. We don't believe it, right? But the idea is that you vote for a representative. That's what a republic
is that representative a actual
I think
it's a person that
voting
sits
has practicalities on a lower level, on a locality level, but when it comes to like mass mobility, national efforts, and shit like that, you kind of need something a little bit stronger than a vote.
Exactly.
Like, and you have to have this same kind of mindset on the local level, which affects you even closer and much more.
But Empiricist is onto something real quick, and what it is when the person takes power, it's not about taking power. It's who and what values are you going to impose while you're in power, because that's a part you don't mix. If you silence the people that you don't agree with, then their vote doesn't matter. That's what I'm trying to say. And with the Constitutional Convention, you could do that. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like,
yeah, but we don't
Convention.
Want that.
Well, that's the legal process of how it's going to happen.
You claim
that's
that.
literally the only way that you can skirt over the federal government is to have a convention of states and have the states themselves actually override the government.
Yes,
and
every right goes away. Every right is a fair game to either stay or go.
And even for the two of you, right, that believe in this or whatever, you would have to actually chip away at the rights at some point to be able to get to the land or laws or whatever you want.
Need 2/3 of the Senate.
Act is, but that's the thing.
The reason why the Constitution the reason why the Convention of States is so hard to actually acquire is the 2/3 of states that actually decide to do it. They have to be in total agreement on what it is that they're actually having a Convention of States about.
It depends on how it's structured, because you can have it where it's like a primary where you can vote in and vote out stuff, and then everybody can just, all the senators and for all the states can meet together as a convention and vote on everything there. And it doesn't have to be public. This is the part that no one understands.
What's on the table? Why are we bringing that up in particular, though?
Well, the Insurrection Act is exactly what's on the table.
Right, but okay, so we can use that Insurrection Act, but what exactly is the ask that
suspension of all rights?
But what are you asking for beyond that will require a constitutional convention? Because you're asking to rebuild.
I'm saying that's the next step. After Chicago goes away, that's the next step, because that's how you consolidate.
It's not going to go away. What do you mean?
That's the only way you'll ever get term limits on Congress is if you have a constitutional convention of states.
That's
because Congress is never going to vote for them to have term limits themselves.
When I say what's on the table, that's a thing, right? Because you can't just have a convention and be like, well, what are we all here for? Like,
you can. That's the thing. You can do it as a primary, and they don't have to tell the citizens what they vote for.
Isn't that assuming that the people that are in seats now are going to be acting in the people's best interest? Or
they're not.
Your
that's what I'm trying to tell you guys.
I'm not even assuming that. I'm just asking why we would be at that point to begin with. Like, to be at that point implies somebody wants something already.
Correct.
Conservative. Ash Wolfie said this is an existential crisis, not a constitutional one. Correct. F your constitution. This is existential. Like, it's beyond your goddamn constitution.
Correct. Again.
Well, because of the people. No system or process is better than the people that are in it. Most people don't take part in the process. Most people have looked away.
The process is dead. Is corrupted. Is dead. Is gone.
No, like most people don't take part in the process. So very limited people take part in the process. Even pay attention. They're very apathetic to everything, and it's been like that for like 30 years.
Let's take a soft break here. I want to read these super chats out loud. We're gonna play the rest of this clip out, maybe, and then we're gonna just drop the clips and have the rest of the conversation. Jesse Lee with the 5-ball. How was Obama deporter in chief with no major incident? Because one, I'm not even sure if his numbers were that strong, and then two, because look how Trump's numbers are. Look what it takes for Trump to get these numbers. I don't know if Obama was deporter in chief at all. I think it was all smoke and mirrors, and he had the media on his team. Latina and Cali with the 199. Please tell this guy do not act like Tyler Robinson. And then Imperious with the $2 super chat. We don't want a constitution. We want a divine edict. Now, here's the thing. Trump himself is probably more Jewish than Catholic. So I don't know if Trump is on your team in that regard, but he is definitely moving things toward the right. And so this is why I don't know if things are going to go anywhere near as far as he was projecting, but things are moving in a rightward direction, which I'm happy with.
You know what's so
Conservative,
crazy, bro?
this whole thing is a band-aid, conservative. It's a band-aid. I'm telling you right
It
now.
is, but you know what's so crazy? Trump's right is 1980s left.
See?
So
Correct.
so you're that's
But,
you know,
but you're still under the liberal paradigm. Like when he says the 1980s, 1990s Trump ideology, you're still under the liberal paradigm.
Well, technically, aren't we? Technically, by Imperius's like comment to like kind of piggyback off of that, isn't the Constitution like a liberal paradigm in the true sense?
Yes, it is. I think
no. The Constitution was a
I think Washington made a big mistake.
No. But Hood, like not Hood. My bad. Dirty. Like in the grand scheme of things or whatever, in you know the history of the world or whatever. The framers were actually like the liberals of their time.
They were, you know what? They were the educated farmers, which is irregular to be educated and a farmer. They were a bunch of educated farmers, and they did federalist things. They were about the logo. Nothing comes before the logo. What we have now are individualists that try to get in off a logo, whether it's the elephant or the donkey or whatever the case may be. And then you have extremists who think everybody should die in the street. But the whole jux of it is, unless you're under the age of 50, I mean over the age of 50 rather, well over the age of 40, unless you're over the age of 40, you don't know the Constitution. Like I just found out from my young mentees that they don't teach it. Like when I was a kid, I had to learn the Constitution to graduate from 8th grade.
But you know why that is, Dirty. They're not teaching them cursive. They're not teaching them that. They're not teaching critical thinking.
I know why. I'm just saying that. We know why, but I'm just saying that. So now when people say something is or isn't, it's like when a criminal tells the police, I know the law. You can't do this. It's illegal. I know my rights. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Let me get this clip. Let me get back to this, and then we're gonna wrap this part up.
A man was shot and killed. Another person was shot by federal agents just this past weekend. They unleashed tear gas on my local police department. Over 24 police officers were subject to this type of violent escalation. The people in Chicago are very clear about our fundamental right to protest. That is a fundamental right for our democracy, and that's what we're going to continue to protect.
Right. Now, the woman that was shot, DHS has said they did that for defensive reasons. She was car ramming, but there are certainly questions surrounding that still. But when it comes to what I had mentioned, for example, protesters blocking access to federal buildings, what is your message to those protesters? I mean, do you support them blocking access?
What I've always said is that we have to peacefully assemble, and we do that nonviolently. That is how we have transformed this country. The city of Chicago is known for its ability to stand up and to resist peacefully. So, of course, we're not condoning any acts of violence, but that also includes that the federal government cannot unleash tear gas and shoot pepper balls at journalists for just showing up to do their job and to cover the news. This president has intentionally worked to escalate violence in the city of Chicago and cities across America. We're just simply defending our fundamental right to our democracy. This president has made it very clear he doesn't support this Constitution. And if Congress, which our framers designed for Congress and the Supreme Court and the courts to provide checks and balance, if Congress will not hold this president accountable, I will.
Put a one in the chat if you actually believe Trump is going to enact the Insurrection Act. I don't know. I don't think he's going to do it. I think he's going to apply every measure just under it.
I don't think he needs to. Honestly,
I don't think he has to.
The fact that a tether who was a school teacher and my kids can't read is talking about constitutional law is crazy to me.
And he's going to hold the president accountable. Come on, man.
Here's my thing. Because as a Chicagoan, here's my thing. Brandon Johnson did not live in Chicago. Neither did Lori Lightfoot either. She was from Ohio. But he became mayor of Chicago without having Chicago jurisdiction. J.B. Pritzker should be in jail. When Rod Blagojevich tried to sell Obama's Senate seat at the who did he try to sell it to? J.B. Pritzker.
He was big time in that.
Right. How did Blago go to jail, but JB become governor? Like he
connections.
And not only that, JB lives in I almost cursed, in Wisconsin. How you governor in Illinois and you live in Wisconsin? All of this is illegal.
Yeah, they all corrupt, bro.
Well, what's the saying? You tolerate the government that you have the government that you tolerate. I mean,
And
If
politics,
you have the government you deserve.
yeah, and the politics is downstream from culture. So like the biggest thing is, guess who had the culture by the cojones for however long, because people like, you know, just were apathetic to everything, thinking it was going to work itself out.
Women.
We all-
What are you gonna do?
Women.
Well, just this past week, I signed another executive order. We have 3 sweeping executive orders to make sure that the fundamental right to protest is intact. We're making sure that people know their rights, and all of our sister agencies and city departments are working in accordance with the local ordinance. And then now, public property that the city owns, ICE cannot prepare its weapons on school parking lots. ICE cannot prepare to disappear families in the parking lots of libraries. That's not what these public accommodations are for. We literally had a South Side neighborhood under siege with Black helicopters, Black Hawk helicopters, where individuals who were sleeping peacefully in their communities had masked, armed men stick long guns in their faces. This is not the type of America that our ancestors fought hard to create. This is a fundamental attack on our democracy. It's not about immigration. It's not about safety. It's about authoritarianism. And we're going to push back, and we're going to defend Chicago and all American cities against this
Does he
tyrant.
know the difference between
Okay,
protesting and
but let me
rioting?
just
Does he
go
know what
to-
the Supremacy Act is? I mean, the Supremacy Clause of the Constitution. And you know what this sounds a lot like? And I love how we're coming full circle. What they're complaining about is the main reason why we we had the first Civil War. It's states' rights, how state rights go away, and now they're bitching about, oh, we need to bring back state rights.
Yeah, but
we literally have come full circle.
everything's cool when the guy that you like is in charge, though. They want a king when that's the case.
I have a question for all the Americans. Do you guys believe in America can balkanize in the next couple of decades?
Oh,
No,
easy.
here's the crazy
Easy.
part, though. Let me say this about states' rights. They don't want states' rights. They want city rights. I'm in Chicago. Downstate Illinois wants Chicago to be its own province, like Washington, D.C. They like, yo, y'all messing up the vote. You got too much population. Because Illinois is a Republican state, but Chicago is a blue city.
Almost
Yeah, if
every
you look
state
at how
is
they
Republican.
gerrymander the state of Illinois, it's crazy.
So that makes my question even more interesting. Like, do you guys actually believe America should just break apart as much as possible?
I mean, you're gonna have some of that, but I don't know if the people that complain the most can actually sustain themselves. So they're gonna go along and get along.
And that's
Because
why they
like
need a king.
if the trucks stop in New York or whatever, for example, right? Like everything's done. Everything's done.
I heard the truck is literally the lifeline for America. Without the trucks coming from certain states, you're done in the blue state.
Yeah, but it's not just America though. There's plenty of places like that.
That's how the world
America's
is.
empire though. That's the people. Everyone on the planet is right now, like people in Europe, Africa, and China. Everyone's focused on America because America is the hegemon. You're the global empire. If America breaks down, the world's in trouble. Everyone relies on the dollar. Europe relies on American military. You guys think, oh, it's nothing. Why do you foreigners focus on America? We focus because if you guys F up, we are all F'd up.
Well, this is why I don't believe in balkanization as like an actual goal. It's not a destination we should aim for.
Correct.
You have to actually flush out the liberal disease. You have to defeat the virus or whatever, however you want to frame it, but you can't just let it balkanize.
Conservative. I only asked the question because, like, how long can this go on for? This division, this back and forth. Like,
It goes as long as people tolerate the violence. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah,
So
but
let's-
nobody.
and tolerance has a limit. Am I wrong?
Yeah, but
Tolerance has a limit.
the limit's passed though. Like the Summer of Love was it.
No, it's gonna get worse before it's.
No,
gonna get
I didn't say it wasn't gonna get worse. I said the Summer of Love was it though on the tolerance.
And then not only that, but we've been here before as a country in a lot of different ways. Like Imperius mentioned, the Insurrection Act has been used a bunch of times already. And then even if you just go back to like the late 60s and the 70s, that was a time of actual left-wing political violence. They had groups taking hostages, running up in courthouses, bank robberies, bombings, the whole shebang, assassinations, everything.
I
These are
still say
underground.
the 60s was the beginning of the end for the Western world. The 60s.
Let me say this, and I'm gonna let y'all rock.
Yeah,
I have a friend over here, and he's like, "Yo, why is Brandon Johnson and JB Pritzker using the same talking points? Right? Why are they saying the exact same thing? Right? Like terrorists, blah blah blah, emotional about Trump." And I told him, I said, it's not because they believe it; it's because they want you to believe it and repeat it. Now, here's my thing, and I've been stewing over this for 2 or 3 days now. 2 or 3 days. I'm talking to my father, who is 78 years old. I didn't realize it yesterday. He's 78 years old. He's a year or two older than Trump, right? So they all baby boomers, right? I'm listening to my father try to tell me that Trump is trying to put National Guard in, quote unquote, his community, right? Even though I've never seen any National Guard in his community. They all downtown, but don't worry about that part, right? And he said, yo, he's a felon and a sex offender. I said, yo, Pop, all of his felonies were based on taxes. You didn't pay your taxes. You lost your house and had to buy it back for not paying property taxes. I'm like, yo, taxes? Like, yo, when we had the investment property, I had to find an appraiser to tell you to put a closet and call it a bedroom and 2 fucking flower pots on the front porch to get you an extra 20,000 in the not assessment, in the appraisal. I said, yo, he got convicted for the same thing you do. You have 3 kids out of wedlock, but you're talking about sexual offenders. You, sir, are him. Like, he's doing boomer shit. How are you mad at a boomer doing the exact same thing that every Bobby Womack wanted to be as boomer did? Like, are you really understand? Like, are you the pot of the kettle, Pop? And our dad called me disrespectful. I don't know why I'm disrespectful because I brought it up, but old people. And because of that, you have my father at 78 years old using the exact same talking points as JB Pritzker and this tether on the screen. And that's why they do it, because people don't remember the lyrics. They only remember the chorus. So as long as you got a hot hook, people be like, yeah, the hook dope. And that's what the Dems are counting on.
I was talking earlier about Brandon Johnson's little conundrum of making things illegal for the federal government. Like, who's going to arrest the feds?
You said earlier that federal agents who violate your executive order would be committing a criminal offense. I want to hear more. Civil. Well, I want to hear more about that. Do you think that they should be charged with a crime? How would enforcement on that work for the criminal component?
They should be charged with a crime because it is a crime.
By who?
I don't think that can of worms is. I don't think they understand the can of worms. You have the supremacy clause in the Constitution, so the federal government has more. And no, we fought a war about this. It's called the Civil War. The federal government has more power over the state governments. They have no right to tell ICE what they can and cannot do as long as they have directive from the president.
But Pete Gabe, though, this is where it started. Back during the whole the global illness, right? The magical flu. When everybody caught the magic flu, they were using the same argument. I as a mayor, I as a governor have executive authority, and if you go against my executive authority, you're breaking the law. Although that
was only because at that time Trump granted them executive authority.
But check this out. By definition, though, no law has actually been written. That's not a law you're referring to.
I don't know if you would say he granted them, but like it wasn't expressly written in the Constitution, so it goes to the state.
It's under the Commerce Clause.
That's what I mean. I don't know if Trump granted anything either way, because I never heard that spin on it until just now.
Well, it's a Commerce Clause.
Right.
Yeah, they use that like very, very liberally though.
I know.
The way it works though is Constitution has things that are like stated specifically, and then anything unstated I think goes into the state's power or something like that.
And then that argument is used federal, like liberally, and locally or state level, like very liberally as well. It just depends on who's arguing what.
Here's the irony that I'm laughing at, though. Like, they tried that quick end around when it came to just running over the individual citizens, and maybe they got away with it because obviously everybody let them do it. But now you're going up against Trump and a federal government. Not only a guy with the will, but an actual institution with the capacity to tell you to go fuck yourself.
What they're expecting though is somebody just to go away, or that's what they're used to. They're used to crushing, like, the single individual.
You know what they're used to.
He's not making a legal appeal. I mean, yeah, that's what he says, right? But what he's trying to do is get more people on his side, aka that empathy thing. Oh, feel bad for me, right? Because the orange man coming after me, or feds coming after me, all that bullshit. That's all he's really doing.
Yeah, but he's at his lowest approval rating, is he not?
This is why I want him to actually face some level of legal consequence. And not even about Brandon Johnson per se. I think this is the perfect time and moment, because I don't know. I got to look this up. I'm just thinking out loud right now, but I don't know that the sanctuary city has actually been tested legally against like the federal government.
Oh, it has been. It's lost every time. Sanctuary city, it's a joke.
Okay. So therefore, if he were to just go all the way balls to the wall, he could drop a tank in Chicago if he wanted to, and he would not be wrong.
Because the sanctuary city goes against the Commerce Clause, because what happens in one area has to be tried in somewhere. You can't go against federal law. It's the Supremacy Clause. You can't. If a federal law says you have to do something, you have to do it. Just like if there's a choice between a state law and a federal law, the federal law wins all the time. So the fact of it having a sanctuary city is going against federal law. These people should have been thrown in jail.
This is what I mean. Like, you don't need an insurrection act to do something to take action against something that's already illegal.
We don't. The federal government doesn't generally go after a mayor. They might here and there based off of criminal charges.
Shit, they have gone after governors, bro. I mean,
my man in DC,
Kwame Kilpatrick. They locked up the DC guy who was smoking crack. They will go after the mayor
over specific criminal charges, right? But
they got rid of the New Jersey governor in the early 2000s over some bullshit that was not even that big of a deal.
Hold on, finish your thought, Josh. I want to hear everything.
What generally happens is it's going to be people versus people. In this case, he's gambling, or I would assume that he's gambling on the residents of a city of going against the feds, aka an authority. Let's just call them whatever legal entity that they send in, even if it might be the National Guard. It's just a numbers game.
Yeah, but he don't have the numbers behind him. He hopes that he can galvanize them, but that's not going to happen.
Well, it just takes one agent to get killed.
We're fixing to find out how many true hardcore diehard Democrats exist in the city of Chicago.
When it really comes down to it, I invoke the words of Chris Rock himself. He's like, I don't care if a tank is rolling down Flatbush Avenue. I ain't fighting for nothing.
Look,
and that's how a lot of people are.
As a Chicagoan, right? And knowing that most Chicagoans don't vote, because there's more white people. People don't realize this. There's more white people in Chicago than black people, but white people don't vote. They don't care, right? And most white people don't care. It's just old people and fat women. That's who votes, right? So when it comes down to a tank running down Western Avenue or whatever, they're not going to do anything. They're probably going to cheer because they understand the situation, right? Most black males don't like immigration. When Brandon said stuff like they were just minding their business, sleeping in a tent or whatever, and they woke up with a rifle in their face, my friends are laughing, cracking jokes like, yo, dirty folks, look, B, these Venezuelans, they selling their wives for $4. They don't even need a whole nick, my nigga. Like we smashing for $4, my nigga. So y'all running prostitution rings. You should have a pistol in your face. All these save a whole bleeding heart liberal men, especially black men, y'all should be mad that the cost of coochie went down to $4 because of Venezuelans. Y'all should be mad that the Venezuelans are walking up King Drive. You know, every Martin Luther King is bad, but ours is Drive. Y'all might be Avenue. And they're shooting at O Block like, oh, we take over O Block now. Went to war with the GDs, stopped fighting the BDs because they teamed up to shoot at the Venezuelans. Y'all should be like, what part of life is missing when you turn 60? I don't know. The thing
Not
about
life. It's control of power. It's whatever gets me the next vote so I can stay in power so no one can turn off my Medicare and Medicaid. That's what it comes down to, because they're definitely afraid that the Gen Xers come in and just shut off Medicaid.
All right, hold
That's
on. I need about 30 seconds. All right.
Yeah.
By the entity that they're violating, the city of Chicago. It's a crime. Here's the thing. Anyone who commits a crime should be charged. I mean, isn't that the basic rule of what they ostensibly refer to as law and order? How do you expect people to respect your ability to carry out law and order if you don't follow it yourself?
So do you want the state's attorney to charge them?
I'm saying that they should be held accountable.
You said earlier that federal agents who violate your executive.
The fact that he didn't say yes or no is telling. And
He knows he doesn't have a leg to stand on.
yeah. And I hate to be this guy, right? And I don't want to derail the topic, but I'm gonna say it anyway. How do you get that interpreting job? Who you got to know?
bro, you got no sign language. You don't even know no sign language. What was
Man, I can learn sign language in like 3 months, man. I can learn in 3 months, man. I know how to say I love you right now.
Bro, right now, bro. I would endorse you. If I saw you as the interpreter, bro, tacos on me. I look at my point. You just give me a wink.
I'm gonna have my hat tilted. You know what I'm saying? Like in the Dipset video, and I'll be signing my ass off, man.
I'm on your side, bro. I'm on your side. Look, bro. Look, first of all, the chat is crazy. Y'all wild, bro. First of all, y'all ages, because y'all like old people, they don't know nothing. Like, and y'all right, but y'all still ages. That's bad. And second of all, nobody cares about O Block. I didn't know what O Block was. My little cousin had to tell me what O Block was. And he was like,
what it is, 30? Old people know a lot of shit about life, but they be getting the politics and the social movement wrong.
Because they no. Hood, old people lie about their entire life. So they got to believe every other lie. Like, I have a video of Carlson, of Tucker Carlson. He's white. He sounded like me. His boomer hate is righteous too.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. Like, did you you gotta listen to that little clip of old boy on his show?
Yeah,
the white comedian.
And Tucker came in like, I'm hating, and then they changed the topic. Tucker came back like, no, but fuck these boomers for real though.
Just out of
Tim Dillon. Yep.
Yeah. So, and Tucker said everything I always said, like, yo, teachers don't know anything unless it's in the back of the book.
Well, within the context of this, do you think that honestly matters? Right? Like, a bunch of Gen Zers are hanging out in the street, right? Who do you think is the person that's sending in or has the authority and the ability to enforce
boomers are doing it.
Older people.
Wouldn't it be the old guys?
Yes, because Gen Z not voting, bro.
But by nature, it won't fucking matter what the kids got to say.
I understand.
Daddy's pissed.
Look, I get you. Here's what I'm saying. When I'm dealing, because I deal with politicians. Y'all seen my latest videos when I talk about dirty politics. You see me in pictures with like senators and congressmen and aldermen. These are my people, right? We eat tacos together. So when they go on their campaigns, do you think they're going to the high schools to talk to the seniors? No, they're not. They're going to the retirement homes and talking to the old people because old people vote.
Well, they were trying to go to the universities, but that got shut down.
Right, because only old people vote.
Well, old people have money too. They have disposable.
I ain't about the money part though. They half of them fucking ex-crackheads. They still vote.
That might be true in like maybe Chicago, New York City, things like that, right? But that's not true across the board in the United States.
It's not true across the board. I understand that. But when it's not true across the board, you know what people do? They vote. They vote.
Maybe this is the disconnect. Do you think that the rest of the country as a whole gives a shit about like Chicago itself as a city?
When it really comes down to it, most people don't care. They just bring it up in casual conversation.
Wouldn't it be wouldn't it then be the case that whatever's going to happen in Chicago, right? Let's just say the military either does or doesn't go up in there and just start breaking boots off of people's asses, right? Wouldn't you think that's kind of like testing the waters to see how the United States might react?
Probably, but I don't think Trump would do that though. He showed way too much restraint in his last term for him to like kind of break from that now, because he could go balls to the wall like, you know, the first 30 days, and he kind of did in a way, but like he's handled a lot of situations with kid gloves.
You know what? Hold on. Let me make a point real quick. Right. American man, you ain't say shit in a minute, so yeah, you got it.
See, I think you guys are missing it. When Trump sent the National Guard into D.C., everyone cried, you can't do that. So he started sending ICE everywhere because no one can say you cannot send ICE into any state. Legally, constitutionally, that can be done. Imperius said something earlier, which is what I had observed. Once you kill one ICE agent, all hell is going to break loose.
Correct.
And then there is no more, you can't send in this, you cannot send in that.
I think that was Bandit that said that.
Well, we already had someone shot.
That's still looking backwards. As we're sitting here right now, there are 500 Texas State National Guards sitting in Chicago.
You know what, bro? I think that's constitutionally illegal. I think it should be Illinois Guards.
Right.
My boys some work.
Right, but they can sit. Here's the thing: they can sit. They cannot do anything. But you kill one ICE agent in Chicago, and the sitting stops.
No, well, the thing is, you have to understand, you have a governor that's. This is the problem. Okay, so let's
you have a governor that's refusing to help in any way, shape, or form at all.
I'll tell you how we got here real quick. Give me 5 seconds and I'll run it down for you real quick. So which rolls back to Election Day 2024. Okay. What happened was Pennsylvania changed its laws for voting that basically said, because it was a national election, Pennsylvania changed the laws so it could do mail-in votes. Okay. Because the Republicans decided to make a deal with the devil. But because they changed their voting at the 11th hour, one state was going pitted against another state, and it was changing their election so their votes didn't matter in a sense. So because of this, the National Guard of Texas has the authority now to go to another state and say, I'm going to declare that because the way Chicago handled their voting, I'm going to go in and make sure that doesn't happen again. So that's why we have the Texas governor going into Chicago and doing this, because of what happened in Pennsylvania.
Not the governor doing it. It's just a selection process. There are Illinois National Guards in there, but it would be a dumb idea to take people from inside. So I'm upstate New York, right? It would be a dumb idea to send people from here to deal with us. The whole point of using a military is to disconnect any empathy from the soldier to the people. It's just a dumb idea in general. That's why you send outsiders.
I agree with that.
And honestly, the National Guard is the National Guard. It doesn't matter what state you come from. So you're right, Josh. That's actually how you should do it. You don't use the city they come from, the police that city itself. But as a matter of the Guard, it's like all troops are fungible. So you can just send people wherever you want.
Well, it depends.
Several states' National Guards actually work together in a lot of things too.
Yeah, like Pennsylvania,
but Texas wouldn't be their own nation though. So yeah.
Yeah, but the difference is the state National Guard works on behalf of the governor. They're basically the governor's private police force that they can send to do whatever they want. So basically, this is like if you play like 3 levels of Kevin Bacon, they can't go after Trump against the Texas National Guard. That's why Trump is using
Supreme Court just ruled on this anyways. Yes. So when Trump initially tried to do it, it immediately got blocked down by one court, right? And it went right up the pole, and they turned around and redid it. Yes, legally, Trump can basically put troops wherever the hell he wants,
which is crazy, right? One of the California court, it's like not even in the same district or whatever that this is happening in or region. however that works.
They got a dyke mayor too, bro. Y'all heard my show. But
It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Like, it's man. All this stuff is wild, man.
stay away from cities with dyke mayors.
Obviously, this is kind of like a wording thing, right? Like, yes, obviously, the military can be put to guard any federal building they want, aka
It's
the federal
not a
building that's there,
wording
right?
thing, though. It's not one of those situations where you talk to a girl, they're like, "It's not what you say; it's how you say it."
No, but this
No, no,
is
no,
this
it
is
is.
Josh is right. Like
And what's
what they'll
written
do
on
is what they'll do is they'll guard like federal buildings, so now they can use the police resources or federal agents elsewhere.
And this is why I was saying earlier, I don't think he has to go as far as like an insurrection act. He can just like kind of let the situation walk him through the levels of escalation that are legally appropriate.
Yeah, but Chicago, that's the issue, right? Chicago, this ain't the one city in the United States that's got this issue that I guess us right wingers are looking at, right? Chicago is just, I guess, apparently the guy that, I don't know, shit popped off first.
No,
he's also in Memphis. He's also in Memphis.
The truth of the matter is this: how long is anyone supposed to allow this shit to continue going on? Regardless of whether or not there's more cities that this is going on, he can't attack all the cities at the same time. He has to
100%.
And hopefully, if I can finish, hopefully, if he attacks the main ones and gets them under control, the other cities that are having issues will follow suit.
There you go.
Not only that, it's not about attacking the city individually. Like there are networks, there are investigations that have to be done. There are IP addresses that have to be cracked and all that kind of like. I already saw a clip. There's some of the alleged Antifa ringleaders have already left the country and they're docked up in Europe somewhere in Sweden or some shit like that. Like you actually have to go back to the old simple ways. You strike the shepherd, the sheep will scatter, that type of thing. You start dismantling networks, you start arresting individuals, other people will quickly go home. Because remember, a lot of this is being paid, a lot of this has financial support, a lot of this has like networks that you can now penetrate. I think I saw even Texas governor was saying he's going to now start to send undercovers to penetrate Antifa. Which that sounds crazy to me.
I don't know why they haven't already sent undercovers to penetrate. That's ridiculous.
Because nobody in Texas, no real Texas Lone Ranger wants to dye his hair purple and do gay shit.
Yeah, but they have already the Whitmer case. You remember that?
Minnesota, though. That was like that was up north. That was
Guys,
Michigan.
Just did this like 2 weeks ago.
Everybody in that case except for like 4 people were feds. It was like 19 people.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I know more than anybody.
I know you know my cracker colonizer. But Uncut said some real shit. He said so Chicago is ground zero or some to that extent. Yes and no. Yes and no. Here's the thing. There's only 26 cities to worry about, 32 tops, right? And you can count that by what cities have 3 major sports teams. If you find a city with 3 major sports teams, it's run by either liberal women or black men, right?
I mean, if you cut it down to 5 cities, 5 of the biggest major cities, New York, Chicago, LA, and add whatever 2 others or whatever, right? You will cut the numbers so drastically it won't even be funny.
I agree with you.
On the DNC, absolutely.
Here's the point with that. I agree with you. Here's the point with that. And I'm speaking for men, heterosexual men in Chicago, right? I'm not talking for blacks. I'm talking about heterosexual men, regardless of race, right? Everybody's on the same tone, right? Like there was a dude, I didn't even know he knew how to read. And he was like, yo, bro, Donald Trump, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what? Look, everybody wants stability and function. When you look at Brandon Johnson.
No, that's not true. Have you met a leftist? They do not.
Yeah, I'm an extreme. I'm a right wing extremist. No, it's definitely. And there's good 3 million population of us running around doing crazy shit.
I see. I don't be fucking with y'all, but because I don't have no white friends except Snowman, but he poor. I need a white friend with this.
I'm telling you.
Hey, I'm not poor. I'm middle class now, motherfucker.
Hey, to reframe dirty folks' comment. Most people want like just the norm. Most people in the country, they want some sort of norm.
You're right.
The average person just wants to go to work, live their life, and be left the fuck alone.
Right. So
And that's the problem with moderates. You guys haven't fucking
look at that
addressed
though,
it, right?
but moderates are boomers. Look, my dad is a boomer. My dad will go against me at any given time. And Hood was talking about his mom, same shit. But you know,
I disagree. If you're a conservative, you're in my eyes, you're a moderate. The whole idea of sitting around the table and talking, that's moderate bullshit.
I would say because of the information you're given, you're like almost a borderline leftist by like, you know, just by proxy. Because like you get all this information, right? And they used to, like, especially the boomers, right? They would listen to the TV. They would get their information from the TV. The TV tells them all the good stuff, or at least they thought. And then they would follow that, and that would lead to like good situations or whatever.
Okay.
There is no
in the
middle
last
ground.
15 years,
Hold on real quick, Josh. I just want to point that out. I want to kind of lean into what you were saying. Is, you know, there is no moderate position worth having anymore. And so, and this is a kind of the argument I was having with myself the other day on air. Like, the moderate position is dead, right? And then we were talking about Charlie Kirk and all that. And honestly, it was dead way before Charlie Kirk, but we needed a body for confirmation. You know how that is.
Tim Pool killed moderates.
And the thing is, and even Tim Pool kind of slid away from his leftism. He's on the path to the right wing.
No, he's a closeted leftist. When push comes to shove and he gets what he wants, he's going to throw all those lefty values back in.
Yeah,
he's
Tim Pool is a progressive to the core, dude.
Yeah,
straight
Tim
up.
Pool, you know, Tim Pool,
he says whatever he thinks will make him money.
Yeah, but he's also a business owner though, and he's got a child on the way, so that changes you a little bit.
Tim Pool is a definition of a tradcon, of a trad feminist.
Right.
Tim Pool is a Mexican that grew up in Chicago.
Korean, really.
If he was a fucking politician, he'd be a rhino.
Yes, correct.
Tim Pool, like in Chicago, we're so segregated. So you have white people, and there's always a Mexican buffer, and then black people.
Well, hold on. I'm sorry, I got to finish.
I was just saying, in Chicago, the black people on the west side live in Leclerc Courts. That's like a project area, right? The buffer between the white people that live by Midway Airport and the black people that live in Leclerc Courts is the 4 blocks of Mexicans in the middle at the park. That's where Tim Pool is from. I've seen them.
I thought Tim Pool was half Korean.
Yeah, he is half Korean.
Yeah, and the neighborhood might have changed in the last 30, 40 years. I cut Josh off when I was making a point. I want to get it back to Josh real quick. And all I was saying, though, is that the middle ground, the quote conservative ground, is actually like the old, like y'all said, that's 80s liberalism or whatever. And I think the right wing is it has to go further. I'm not even going to describe what it should be, but I know it's going to go further from where it is right now. But I wanted Josh to kind of flesh that out a little bit in his own vision.
That was the problem. It's definitely going to go further, but that's now we're getting into the question of how far is too far. Because
you won't know until you get there.
Well, no, it's what's going to be the thing that stops us. And in my biggest fear is actually that moderates.
Well, the problem is moderates don't make up a lot of the population because everybody's balkanized. And the thing is, if you look at modern U.S. history, there's never been a right. Even little mustache man that's on the screen right now, he's a lefty. He's a socialist. So we've never really had a Republican gone too far.
Because
but even with him, well, no, I just want to make the quick point. I want to give it right back to True Hype. Hold on, I want to give it back to True Hype because I cut him off. But I just want to make the point about the guy on the screen here. Like, even he was as far right as you could get with a left wing principle, because National Socialism. He was hardcore nationalism, right? I don't know who's more nationalist than him. But True Hype, I'll cut you off. You got the floor.
And if you look at the government, like way back in the day, right, the McCarthyism and all that stuff, which some actually argue now that he didn't go far enough, that was like the furthest right you would probably get, and nobody had the stomach for it.
I disagree.
No, the leftists. Remember, the leftists controlled the media. And Hollywood's doing movies to scare people at the time. Like, you want to talk about culture back in the day? Look at the 1920s when they had like nudity clauses in movies and everything else.
There you go.
That's what you're looking at. You're looking at the 1920s.
Yeah, but that was a cultural thing. That wasn't the government.
No,
the government laws.
That was federally regulated.
That was federally regulated.
And
Yeah,
you
but
have to do
because
it
that's what the
sundown laws.
culture wanted.
No,
I
no,
like,
no, no,
but
no,
I'm
no,
saying
no,
like
no.
when it was time to use government power though, the McCarthyism and actually going after communists, they reeled from that.
I
I
get that.
don't think you understand what the 1920s were like because
Go ahead.
they were going after commies left and right.
I agree.
I think you fail to
Communism, well, not
understand.
communism. 1920s, the right before what they call it. It wasn't the Great Depression. That was the 30s. The 20s was like the roaring.
It was the
roaring
The roaring 20s.
20s.
the roaring 20s.
1929 was the crash, I think.
Yeah,
I think you
roaring
guys tend to
20s
fail
was
with or fail to understand the thing that ties our hands.
Right.
It ain't the federal government. It ain't the president, right? It's okay. When I say moderates now, I literally mean right-leaning Republican moderates. Those are the ones that literally tie our hands. The thing that's going to stop me from whooping somebody's ass next door is going to be, God, I hate to say this because he ain't actually a moderate, but it'll be somebody like Angry Man or Snowman. I'm sorry.
I'll fucking stab you.
You should stab
Yeah,
us,
why
man.
like why do you say that though?
Put that on him though. Yeah, elaborate that for me.
He actually wasn't a moderate, right? At one time, he was very active, right? So we're looking at him because, okay, you're the older guy. How far is too far? We're looking at our own people. They're just in the middle, right? Because he's a family guy, right? He's got the experience. That's why he's not doing what he used
It's
to
not
do.
even just.
Yeah, but do you just jump into a random interaction though? I don't think Snowman does that. Like just jump into a random interaction without knowing like
All right.
Wait, here's
Put
the
it
thing
this way:
with that
I
for you.
have kids, okay, or we'll talk about that down the road. But put it this way: when you have kids, you become more right wing because you have something to live for and something to die for. Okay, so having kids makes you more conservative. It does not make you less conservative.
I agree because you become a girl dad, and that's bad. You should never be a girl dad.
You're not getting my point. The thing
No, I
that
get your point. Once you love your kids, you become a pussy. I get your point. Look,
No,
what I'm
I've
saying.
got kids, but I'm very active, right? But I have to take direction from somebody, and it's gonna be people like Snowman.
I get that, and I'm not arguing with that point. What and my point was the 1920s, because the 1920s was the last decade where men had primary custody of their children.
Because of
So
what
once you
passed
don't have
in
to worry about
1919.
somebody taking your kids or paying for a girl who don't want to
We're
be with
so
you.
far past the whole like
I know we are, but we're
red
talking
pill
about
thing, like
true,
all
right?
of this bullshit doesn't matter to us. We actively want to fight.
No, I get it, but what I'm saying is when the circumstances are as a man, everything's your fault, and if it's your fault, it's your fix. Go out there and fix it.
also like are you having the right fights? I understand the fervor and all that, right? But to hammer everything looks like a nail.
That's the question right there, right? And we're unable because we're basically just foot soldiers. We have to actually concede to some type of authority. We don't look to the government for that because we've just never been that way, right? We're looking to people with experience. They're gonna be people like Snowman.
Like you keep on doing that, right? I'm like I
what
still
the fuck did I do?
Because it's one person that you
no,
would know that
but I'm still don't think you
Let's walk through that. Why Snowman? 'Cause
yes.
because what I guess maybe you guys don't know about his history. He has experience. He's not an idiot. He's been through all of this shit before, actively speaking, right?
I would not
We
vote
look
for
to the people
Snowman.
that have done the thing.
Look, I
One
got
thing-
so much love for Snowman, but I would not vote for Snowman 2026.
Yeah,
Look,
but
No, I
everybody
wouldn't vote for me.
everybody up here though has met people that have experience doing a thing. A lot of different things, as a matter of fact.
But we're in the talking about the concept of something he used to do when he was younger. He was active.
everybody was active, and you had to go outside in 1990.
No. He was active within a group.
No, we understand what you mean, but like you know how many operators I know?
Snowman,
Of course you don't.
Do you have a giant American History X swastika on your chest?
No.
Like I'm just curious, like where are you going at with this? Like he was so active.
I mean, the only thing that could be considered racist now is the 3%er tattoo I have on my hand.
Because I'm curious as to like what do you mean when you
Look
say
up
he
that
was
group.
so active, Josh? All right.
Oh, we know the group, man. We
So, okay, then you would
Let's kind of walk it
who
out.
you look to. Those, I hate to call him an old bastard, right? But the old bastards that have the experience, That's who we
No.
would look to for leadership.
No, hell
No,
Absolutely.
because your
No, you
oldest
don't.
people will be
You
boomers. and I
can't, you
don't
can't
listen to
tell
my
him
old
no.
father.
Like that's his vision of it. That's how he thinks it's going to work. But I'm curious as to what he thinks is going to actually play out.
No.
Oh no, it's basically those people would be people like Snowman would act. They basically snap, get pissed off, and say we're done with this bullshit, right? And that was what
Every
would
nigga
ultimately
fucking
activate us and start fucking picking fights.
You know how history works.
Everybody
It's always a charismatic leader that takes charge. It's
Yes,
already
and a lot of times they were young in
I
all
understand.
groups.
Well, now that he laid the premise out like he did, I understand what he's saying.
But look,
so someone that's actually been active out there in the political arena, doing rallies and going out and being active, boots on the ground, and quote unquote militia groups or activist groups and shit like that. He is right. Eventually, as someone like myself is going to get tired of it and snap, just because they've seen it over and over and over again right up in their face.
I understand like that standpoint, but for the most part though, most of the active like members of these groups and stuff like that, even leadership, I mean, you go to the Panthers, like there's only a few cases where it's like an older person.
Well, that's true, but I mean, most movements are young people movements.
What are you talking about? The leader of the Black
They're young people
Yeah,
movements.
they're young people movements. Hey,
Right,
they might get some tips from some older people, but like,
no,
what was it like?
Usually the older people are the ones that lead them and fund them. That way,
Right.
the younger people can go out and be active, and they have more life. That they're more expendable than the old
You'll have
people with
somebody
money and wisdom.
like Jamal. I can't remember Jamal last name. The dude I know Hood did a show about it. Jamal Green. Jamal Green was a dude who tried to fight dude at the Chicago.
Roland Martin.
Roland Martin.
Yeah.
Jamal Green and his whole posse. I knew the whole posse of my guys. And Jamal Green had to quit talking to me on social media because black women told him that, man, don't fuck with dirty folks because he anti-woman, because I'm pro-function, right? So, but me and Jamal cool like in real life, but like on social media, he be like icky poo.
He married too, man.
He is now. I got his daughter about 5 years old now. But when I met him, he was a 19-year-old dude at Pastor Corey Brooks' church. For those who don't know who Pastor Corey Brooks is, he was the pastor who sat on a fucking hotel roof for a week until they tore down some type of hooker hotel. Anyway, so I met him at Corey Brooks' church, and the first thing I told him was, look, bro, you got too many 70-year-old men in your circle. You need to move around. And then, but he didn't know who I was. So he like, who is this dude? And then when he found out who I was, like, I'm the most known unknown in Chicago. Like, I'm the most plugged person in Chicago that nobody knows. So when he started asking around, he's like, yo, Dirty Folks, nigga, what? So then that's when he quit the politics thing. He got into he let the Gentiles fund his new situation where he's supposed to be a black banker. And God bless him, bro. He got kids to feed. I would rather see him rob people with bank loans than watch him follow 72-year-old black men, to be honest with you.
I mean, like he can get a lot more done doing what he does now, though.
Right,
And
but he ran for president
and
against Brandon Johnson. If y'all pull up the Chicago Democratic debate, Jamal was running for president with classic names like Carol Mosley Braun, when she called the other black lady a crackhead. And like, Chicago politics is wild, bro. But my point is, I know these guys, and these guys lead the movement. But to whoever said it benefit, when Jamal was going against Rahm Emanuel was funding him. When he started going against Black Lives Matter, because first he was pro Black Lives Matter because he was getting that check, and then he became anti Black Lives Matter when he got a different check. Like Jamal is, but I like Jamal as a person. That's why I don't do shows about him, because I like him as a person. But Jamal be doing wild shit.
That might be functional on the left-hand side, but the right-hand side are usually
self-funded. Exactly. But as long as you have black women who want to sleep with you, thinking that they can help you, you'll always succeed. It's not the function thing. It's not a function thing when you're in democratic cities, bro. When you're in blue cities It's all about, do single mothers want to get free housing, free everything, free mentors?
Oh, we're so
stepdaddy?
far past all of that shit.
No.
Well,
But what, technically, I don't know if we are. Like,
hold on. I got a last point I want to make because I got to wrap this up in a minute. We're about to get out of here, but I know a lot of people on the chat. They especially black folk, because a lot of black people listen here, and a lot of black people like to imagine that the problems of America, the social issues of America, are purely black white. And I like to remind people that black is not the biggest piece on the chessboard right now.
We're in Dearborn. This is the call of prayer. It goes off 5 times a day here in the United States. Would you like to hear this blasting through your neighborhood?
Doesn't matter. You moved there. You knew what the hell Dearborn was, I don't know, 12 years ago.
I'd be willing to bet that she lived there before they moved in.
Yeah, probably.
Big knockers, bro.
Wouldn't matter. They 12 years ago, I think Dearborn officially went in that direction.
Yeah, but the thing that you stated earlier is that people need to pick fights, right? So the fights look different. So like if bad neighbors move in, you don't just move out. You don't just flee.
To be fair, right? We're not going to push back on the Muslims currently, even though I'm Christian nationals, right? We're not going to push against them currently.
What do you mean?
Now, hold on. Now, Josh, you had no problem scaring the blacks about all of your Christian nationalist white men aligning about their white pride and religion shit, but you're not going to do anything about the people that you've been rightfully fighting in the name of God for like 2,000 years. Well,
not currently, because right now the debauchery bullshit that's like going on within our own land right now, that's a bigger problem than what fucking Islam's doing on the other side of the fucking planet.
I hate to break it to you, but have you guys looked at what DeSantis just is trying to pass in Florida with anti-Sharia laws never going to happen in Florida?
Yeah, shout out to DeSantis. I think they need to do that in Texas too and tear down that
That's what I'm saying. He's the one that's actually bringing it to a vote. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's already happening where Christian states are saying, "Nope, we're banning Sharia."
I'm like John. Hold up.
Yeah, it's like,
why so gung ho about scaring the blacks? Why so gung ho about frightening the blacks? Bro, when you got
man, snowman would never.
Why?
Because
What's going on with that, John?
You're conflating government, like a ruling versus
one at a time, Josh, please.
You're conflating governing body with force. We're not at a governing body stage, right? We're talking about a fight. And if I have to deal between the gays running around town and the Muslims, whose side do you think we're going to join together?
Yeah, but Josh, you can pick little skirmishes. We're not talking about going all out war. You can have a noise ordinance where they can't do this.
Yeah.
All I know is blacks should be shot dead in the street if they from Chicago, but Muslims no war. And then everybody tripping on me. Look, I robbed it out for a reason.
Bullshit right here. Like,
well, the thing is about Dearborn is Dearborn does have a noise ordinance. The problem is that they actually have a Muslim mayor, so he skirts it.
Wait a minute.
So there you go.
Wait a minute. I'm confused, Josh. As a Christian national, right?
He's atheist. There's no such thing as an atheist Christian national.
He chose. That's what makes it even realer. Nobody even made him believe. He just said, "Those are my guys."
Roman Catholic.
So what I'm saying though now, as a Christian national, are you really telling me that the native-born population, the native-born culture and religion of this country, the people who are under that umbrella, even if they are wayward, are more of a threat somehow than the actual long-standing religious threat?
Because the wayward
amazing.
Yes, because the wayward created the problem that we're stuck dealing with and having to fight against within the first place.
Wait. We created the problem?
The liberals, not the blacks, the liberals.
So like, are we talking about the black? Like, which group?
I'm not making it racial. I'm not making it racial.
Fucking you up right now. That's who we want to fight.
You want to fight the liberals?
You whatever. If you're a registered Democrat, your name is on a list.
Yeah, but here's the thing though, Josh. You don't have to fight them. You can do certain things to like impede them while they fight your enemy.
We are past it. That's the moderate view, right? That's the
no, it's not. No, it's not. Like, no. It's a strategic view. A strategic view, though.
Just waiting for somebody to set it off.
Well, there you go. There you go, right there. Go to Dearborn.
I don't want to go to Dearborn.
See, man, you ain't about it now. Then
you're going to hold on. Can we take a quick second and just put some respect on Becky's big ass titties?
Damn, I've been trying to. Snow. She got some knockers, bro.
For real, dude.
I put this in the chat.
Dude, I bet you, man. I guarantee you, each one of them tits weigh at least 10 pounds.
I will not be distracted by Becky's titties.
No,
fuck you.
You know what?
Hold on. So Chicago, yes. Dearborn, no. That's where we're going, Josh.
That's crazy.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Like, hey, that white man that was on the screen just now, man, didn't have a caveat.
You're doing exactly what you stated earlier was a concept, right? It's all about the reputation. We don't give a damn about the reputation. We're thinking of this in the form of conflict. You want the people that are willing to fight against a thing that you consider to be an enemy. In this case, let's just say homosexuality. We'll just throw that on the table, right? Who do you think's going to side with us? The Muslims would be an absolute asset to conflict.
No, they would not.
No, they would not.
No.
Oh, I guarantee you, if we went through Dearborn,
be an asset until they weren't an asset no more.
Let me throw out there. I'm just curious, just for shits and giggles. Do you align with Christian Zionism as well?
I am pro-Zionist.
Oh,
wow!
Me.
Wow!
How did I know?
Wow!
How did I know?
Hey, boo this man! Boo this man!
Oh my God, I just knew my gut was telling me. My fucking gut was like, nigga.
Hey, Snowman, I was slightly wrong about what you said. And my bad. Snowman would never.
For real. Never.
Snowman would never. Snowman pulled up in Chicago and Inglewood, bro, and fucked with the GDs, bro. Like Snowman would never.
That's why we're having an existential difference here, because we really can't come together from these positions now. I see now there's no moving these rocks.
Because you're at that position where you think it's about talk. We've been done talking.
Well, no,
we ain't talking.
The impasse that we have is you have a different enemy.
Yeah, it's your triage that we have a problem with. You don't really understand the problem as we understand it. You have a different problem.
We stand from a religious point of view.
Maybe
I come from an invasion
maybe not you.
I'm coming from an invasion point of view. When another country comes over and invades an entire city, that's an issue.
Right.
They're U.S. citizens.
You know what? That is actually something worthy of consideration now. I really had not thought that deeply on it. I didn't realize how deep that rift might actually be. But yeah, that is a huge issue. You guys got to get y'all shit together, man.
Michigan, those are U.S. citizens by majority.
Yeah, but there's more getting kind of dumped over here too as well.
Yeah,
so it's like
they have rights. They have rights. So fucking what, man?
To Hood's point, your triage is an issue.
So population come from Syria.
What do you think the bullshit is with like Zionism?
I'm not even going to get into that. I just listen. You can do that.
Of conflict.
You can support Israel. I'm not on the anti-Israel. I'm not pro-Israel. Whatever they're going to do is fine. I want to love America as much as Israelis love Israel. And so if I love America as much as Israelis love Israel, then Dearborn just can't fucking stand.
Because again, you're looking at it.
What do you mean? That wouldn't stand in Tel
No,
Aviv.
like
okay.
No, but you have an issue with the cultural, like the non-homogeneity, right? In the cultural like zeitgeist.
No,
you have no issue with that.
I have a problem with the lack of standards.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
I have a standard. I want for America what Israel wants for Israel, and that shit would not fly in Israel. It should not fly here.
Let me say this again. We want religious rule.
Oh, okay. Doesn't matter.
So any religion?
No. He's saying two things at one time. He wants religious rule. I'm with you on that. But what you're saying is you don't care what religion it is, as long as it's
no.
That's what you're saying.
No. You have to be saying that if you're fighting with us.
You guys think you have to join a fucking specific group based on their beliefs? No,
that's what religion mean. That you fuck with them because of the beliefs. That's exactly what religion is.
Oh, okay. Did Stalin? Who was he allies with first?
But he switched up, didn't he? Did he not?
Sure. Who did he ally up with?
Hitler in my top 5 and Stalin not. You know why? Because he was a lame.
So it didn't really matter what the beliefs
Stalin killed more Jews than Hitler, though.
About the
and so did
Hold on. One at a time. Don't step on each other. Josh, what you're saying? What were you saying, Josh?
So the point is, I guess you don't seem to understand, right? It's not about what people believe in. It's who they're going to ally with to achieve the goal. People are
but here's the thing, Josh. And what's really
problem, Josh? That is the problem. Who are you going to ally with?
What's really funny is you would do the same thing that America has done by siding with the Mujahideen. Sided with the Mujahideen, and then they turn on you.
Yes.
And they're stronger when they turn on you.
Yes.
But you're like, whatever.
This is how this plays out. Yes.
No.
Yeah, but we've seen this movie. It's a bad movie. It's not worth the fare.
This is a rerun.
This has been carried out in so many revolutionary wars and
across
the board.
Yes.
Anything different.
It's never
see, like my rendition of this is gonna work now.
It's like that moment in Terminator 2 when I'm looking up at the robot. We're not gonna make it, are we?
Skynet's already taken over.
That's so funny, man. Like, it only took like a question to illuminate this.
It only took one simple trick.
I was tripping like, yo, why are you tripping? Look,
except for, and I'll say this again, except for the vast majority, Imperius wasn't wrong. The vast majority within your own your congressional seats, your executive branches, who the hell do you think they are?
I think we found out what too far right is. God damn it.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to tell you guys.
We figured it out. You're so far right, you'd have landed in the desert. Oh fuck no.
That's a sad part.
He's the extreme alt-right that everybody talks about, the big scary boogeyman.
But this is damn near the left. This is like left wing to me though.
Well, that is what horseshoe theory is.
It's not horseshoe theory. It's
horseshoes. I need a sword, bro. No horseshoes.
No. This ain't this big bank take little bank. Oh, you got shooters and money. All right, cool. Let's go.
What band did you say?
Holy shit!
I said this isn't horseshoe theory. This is horseshoe fact. Like you've come so right that you're now extreme left.
No.
Yeah.
No. Think about it. He's so right wing. He wants diversity of religion. Bro, how are you a Christian national who wants diversity of fucking religion, bro?
Chicago and LA gonna make it, bro. Because
this is again the dumb mistake that you guys.
No, it's not a dumb mistake because certain cultures, including certain religions, are incongruent with each other. It don't work.
See, that's the problem. Again,
just as much as you're against homosexuality, why you should be equally against Islam and all that.
Did the National Socialists and the commies agree?
You understand they have?
Bro, that was a wartime agreement.
Oh, so what the hell do you think we're fucking talking about?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 crusades, Christians versus Muslims because they didn't get along. Now you're like, you know what? It's cool.
Right?
No.
This is the fucking woke right. This is literally the woke right.
Hey, you gonna start sharing them clips of old girl talking about we pray to the same God now? Is that what you're gonna do?
This is why I hate fucking you guys are just as fucking left.
I'm being funny there, man. Come on, that's a joke, man. Don't get your panties in a bunch.
About the joke part, it's you cannot seem to fathom that Christians and Muslims can't actually get together long enough to kick the fucking individual's ass and turn around and fight later. Yes.
Which individuals?
All
Like, I mean,
about
at this
conflict.
point,
Stab
at
you
this
in the
point,
back the moment they get power.
outside of the Muslims, right? Which individuals? Because if the Muslims and the Christians are going to get together under your vision, who are they fighting against?
Well, right now, all registered Democrats is the target.
Yeah, but all you got to do is cut out the money, and most of this stuff goes away overnight.
Right, and I think we established that. You said that
Right
already.
wing tends to be self-sufficiently funded.
Yeah.
Okay. So target the money, the shadowy figures or whatever. I'm not going to say any names.
They're already funded.
No, not the right. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know about the left.
But you know the agitators are on the street wearing masks, getting donations of $700 goggles and gas mask and all this stuff.
I guess
they got bricks dropped off during the Summer of Love in all major cities.
I've already told you the starting point is any registered Democrat.
Okay, but registered Democrats are Christian. You know that, right?
And they're mostly Muslims too. Muslims are not necessarily Republicans, bro.
Hood, forget the Muslims, right?
And a lot of people register as a Democrat because maybe their family member was a Democrat.
That's the starting point.
Look, tell me if I'm lying, guys. It's a panel. Tell me if I'm lying. Politicians come to Christian Democrat cities to promote to try to get votes, right? Can we all agree on that? Like when they had a old little joint, we're gonna do everything for the community. They come to Baptist and Christian churches to promote. So that means that most Christians that the Democratic Party promotes are Democrats. Because Republicans don't go to synagogue.
Now you're off, right? Like
I'm not
Dearborn. No. Dearborn. You're already debunked here yourself. Dearborn
How did I debunk?
predominantly Republican.
That Christians are going to go to war against they voting base. How are Christians going to go against their voting base?
Okay. Let's start here. Dearborn. You're talking about the Muslims, Dearborn, since that's the example. Do you think it's majority Democrat or majority Republican?
Well, first of all, I'm
Democrat.
all black people in Chicago.
You might want to look up the county voter registration.
In Davenport, even though they have a strong Muslim community, they also have a lot of redneck crackers and a lot of broke Negroes. You know how I know? Because I used to catch the Greyhound from Detroit to Chicago, and the major stop is Dearborn.
Yeah,
I used to get off and get my little food and stuff, and I see what's going on.
The voter registration is public access. It's not centralized. We're working on that.
Are you saying that the Somali Muslim population is largely or at all Republican?
Currently, well, like Dearborn, right? Like you can only look up a location, right? Because on your voter registration card doesn't include your religious beliefs. But currently, if you were to look at, like, say, Dearborn, right, where they've taken control, the Republicans by majority. Yes, they're you. You guys seem to think that there's something like different, right? It's not. And Home Dude already said it here. I forget. It was one of you on panel already said, once you've got like assets, that things that you care about, you tend to lean right. The Muslims in Dearborn, have the thing they care about. Of course, they're going to want more, right? But for the most part, they've got something to defend, so they leaned right.
That doesn't actually go against historical trends. I mean, that doesn't line up with historical trends. Rather, let me show you this real quick here. I just typed this up. This is simple Google AI thing or whatever. Dearborn, Michigan is not traditionally a Republican area and has historically leaned Democratic. Though recent elections show a significant shift in political dynamics, the city has long been considered a Democratic stronghold and part of Michigan's blue wall. So what I'm arguing to you is that don't be moved by a recent trend. Because, like, honestly, I think the Republicans.
How recent do you think it's recent?
I think the Muslims are just overwhelmed with. I think the Muslims have gained control of the city under their Democrat-leaning base, right? And
correct.
So to the extent that they lean right, they're just rejecting modern Democrat social issues with the transgenderism and all that stuff. But outside of that, they don't really care about the right wing outside of that.
If you look at it at an even bigger level too, with the If you look at the Dearborn on a bigger level and its majority Muslim population, you could say that they voted for Trump simply because they didn't respect or went against the religion to even vote for a woman to run the country.
There you go.
So I'm not looking into any of that as reason for like actual ideological alignment. But that being said, I want to put the lid on that for a minute because we got a couple of super chats and there's a question directed to you. So we're going to get to that in just a hot second. Dick Doug with the 5 ball. Have you heard of the knockout guy in downtown Chicago, dirty folks, and they don't want the National Guard? I did have a clip for that, but I dropped it from the show. Mr. Enigma with the 233. Real ninjas believe in keeping the hoes mad. Shout out to Mr. Enigma. Miss Cantrell with the 199. Miss Cantrell with the 199 US. Thank you so much for that. Latina and Cali Hell. Why does Josh sound like the toothless kid from Stranger Things? I never watched Stranger Things. I gotta go see that for comparison now. Dick Thug with the 5 ball. Josh, did you say that Hood spent too much time talking here for his age and that you despise those who talk about their own on Venus live stream?
Yes.
What do you mean, though? What was the context and all that? Because that's just like a
have to go
one-off
back
line.
and watch, right? And ask.
Well,
Like
you said yes. You knew immediately what he was talking about.
Vague. I have brought you up 3 times, actually. I've mentioned your name 3 times specifically.
Well, I know Venus brings me up from time to time.
Yeah, I know you and Venus got beef.
Hey, same thing with Snowman 3 times, man, like Candyman.
I know. I'm
Yes,
the boogeyman.
Snowman,
Yeah.
I actually mentioned a lot.
And what context did I get brought up? I'm curious now.
Dude.
Can I say something totally random?
Oh, hold on, Josh. I had a question, Josh. In what context, if you can remember, what context?
Yeah, what context
did I
do you
get
bring
brought
me up in, motherfucker?
Well, hold on. Okay, so within Hood,
You fucking fed glowy son of a bitch.
I promise with you, Snow, it was actually pretty good from your end, right?
I made my day, Snowman.
Okay, so for Snow, or not Snow, Hood, right? Moderates. There are specific problems that I have with moderates that dismiss certain claims, and it's a tactical problem. So here would be an example. If you dismissed, let's see here, not this show, but the previous one, I think it was a couple hours ago, you dismissed the original claim that the lady was talking about. I will agree with you that her claim of like what could happen is absolutely most likely not even close to being correct. However, her initial claim. Do what?
State the claim, please, so I know. So we all know.
I forget what the claim was, but it was something along the lines of, "We're eventually going to be next," and that is always the case.
We're
in regards to deportation. Is that what you?
Yeah. As in, black people are going to be next. Is that the claim that you think?
Okay, yeah. So in her case, she was talking about it like say
that's
say
what they worry about over there.
It was about the Michigan, whatever, the 800 room apartment building that got raided, right?
Chicago.
Okay. So it was the concept of if they can kick in their doors, right, and do that all that bullshit, they can come at us. The whole concept of show me your papers, we're there.
Which is funny because civil asset forfeiture is on the rise, like police misconduct, all kinds of stuff. So if you really want to make that case for all Americans, you can make that case easier than they're just going to target black folks.
Well, no, because it's not.
Why do you agree that black people specifically would be next?
Because it's not about black. That's the problem.
So there you go.
It's about the concept of who comes under that gun at any given time.
Black people not worried about ICE.
If you believe that your vote matters, you ain't us.
But see, this is what I mean, Josh. You over there trying to scare the blacks and shit when you just claim, you just stated without stating that it's not a black thing. It's not explicitly black.
But no, the reason why it's been discussed as a black thing is because that's the framework that the people want to ask.
But that's what black women say.
That's why I keep accusing you of going over there to scare the blacks, bro.
Yeah, but you don't have to accept their framework. You can always reframe too.
You do when somebody no. See, here's the problem. If you ask,
no fucking problem. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That's a problem. You ain't had shit to say when they were doing Tuesday and Thursday sweeps in the 1990s.
Yeah,
when
they already had an idea in their head. I'm just answering the question straight.
Because they had private prisons. You wasn't there. You weren't there when they were really targeting black males so they could never really vote or have an elected position. You weren't there. You weren't fucking there. You ain't had shit to say. So don't say shit now. Nothing. Not a motherfucking word.
I mean, it's been a lot worse though. Like Hillary Clinton herself calling us super predators.
Exactly. And
That's what I
nobody
mean. Like, you just trying to scare the blacks, bro. What the hell?
But that's the thing, right? You dismiss that claim.
No,
and under
never
her
dismiss the
framework of
claim.
what she
I lived
said,
through that claim.
Bro, she just a silly girl, though. And a
I'm
lot
not
of the
talking
niggas
about
think like
Venus. I'm
silly
talking about
girls.
the silly girl that you just dismissed is
don't listen to no
factually
girl with
and
clothes on. I
demonstrated throughout
dismiss
all
every
history.
girl.
It's hold on. What exactly has been demonstrated through history? Because now you're kind of you're mixing things together, and it need not be mixed, right?
Has it not been the case during, like, say, the French Revolution, or let's just say small mustache man, right? Have they not always basically utilized one group to gain power and then turn around and switch on that group?
Yes, and you're doing the same thing.
Yeah, that's the same thing you're gonna do. And then they're gonna switch it.
That has always been the case.
No. But here's the thing: you're going to lose because they're going to be more powerful than you when they rise up against you.
No, they won't exist.
All of a sudden you're going to be more powerful than them.
They're outbreeding you, bro. Their braid is killing yours.
They don't
and
exist
you're fighting.
within the
You're
government.
technically
They don't
fighting a
currently
retreating battle already.
Yeah, but like it was not 10 years ago where they weren't like the body of the Dearborn like legislature. If you really want to go to that argument, it doesn't take that long.
Yeah, it doesn't take that long. All you have to do is bring in enough family members, and you take control.
Hell, like look at Minnesota, where Ilhan Omar was.
There you go again, thinking that it has to be this group and it has to be that group.
No. I'm making a different point now. Like, see, the Ilhan Omar, that was immigration. Period. Full stop.
And you think a couple of twinks are your major enemy? Like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah, no, I've already.
You got to stop the trains from coming in to borrow from some of the talking points that you've been making. You got to stop the trains from coming in first.
What trains? When somebody asks me a direct question, I give them a direct answer.
When the people are coming in these large numbers that aren't naturally born here, that is a issue right now, especially with all the upheaval.
We don't disagree.
That's the first thing that has to stop.
Who says it hasn't been stopped? I mean, that's the whole.
No, it hasn't been stopped. It hasn't been stopped. The H-1B program hasn't been like looked at like all the way like it needs to right now.
How can you look at this group of people as an ally when your very existential position depends on removing these people from your actual system?
Yeah, I don't care. I like the immigration.
No. Answer the question directly. Don't tell me you don't care. Like work through the problem.
No. The immigration point to our side doesn't matter as long as it keeps the right, aka the Republicans, together and doing shit. It's going to be effective. Do I care about immigration personally? No, not really.
We're not going to make it.
That's wild, man. Like this is one of the key things. Other groups outbreed you.
No.
This is true.
They don't have as many abortions. They wouldn't outbreed if black women didn't hate kids.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you get to two. It's still 1 and 1.
Yeah, you're right. It don't matter why. Look, Uncut Underground, and I fuck with. He's Chicago too. We don't always see eye to eye, but I fuck with him though. He don't fuck with me like I fuck with him, but Chicago love. He just said some real shit. Uncut said, "Goddamn it, man. His beliefs aren't anything special. Black conservatives just have to gaslight everybody to think they don't exist." Remember when I tell y'all that black, quote unquote, black only represents women, gays, and felons? Like, it don't represent 80% of heterosexual men. 80%. Like 80% of heterosexual men go to work, pay taxes, just want to raise their kids, but they only promote the bottom 20% when it's black people. They promote the top 20% when it's white people, even though it's a lot of trailer park white people sleeping with their sister, but they don't promote them. They only promote the Donald Trumps. But when it comes to black people, they promote, bro. What he's saying, I don't even know if he understands how deep that is. But black conservatives don't make the news because you don't do anything wrong. What makes the news is saying dumb stuff, doing dumb stuff. You don't make the news just being American.
Listen,
it's true.
We got to wind this down. I'm thankful to Josh for coming through this last moment. because we had a revelatory conversation this last 20 minutes or so. I didn't expect this last part. It started with one simple question. It's so amazing how one simple question can get you to the heart of other issues. And I at a certain point, it occurred to me that these two issues may be linked, and I was correct. I had a hunch, and the hunch played out accurately. And now we got to a revelatory point where, from a civilizational position, I think as much as we have to like remove the legal immigrant population that is heavily Latino, the Latinos themselves are technically children of the West, right? Like Spain is in Europe. They are Catholic by and large, and so in a lot of ways I would much rather have them fill in the gaps in a place like America than the Hajis or the Jeets or anything like that. Like nobody from the desert, nobody from the desert region or religions, because it's going to create too much of a cultural issue for us down the line. Whereas with the Latinos, it's just more of a some little gang shit here on the fringes. It's not as much of a clash.
I think you're oversimplifying it. Think that it's a short-term conflict. It'll never be a short-term conflict.
So let me ask you,
what do you mean it's never going to be a short-term conflict? Between who?
No. So religious groups are always going to fight.
Right. So how do you mean short-term when technically these conflicts have been playing out for 1,000 years?
Currently.
So Josh, let me ask
liberalism would be.
Let me ask you. No, let me ask Josh a question. How do you feel about the Puerto Rican? Because Puerto Rico is a U.S. province, right?
I don't know much about the Puerto Rican.
No, how do you feel about a Puerto Rican who got booked to do the Super Bowl telling Americans who speak English as a primary language they got 4 months to learn Spanish so they can enjoy his Super Bowl special?
That was crazy.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I hope
to me it just sounds like
Josh. You sound like a libertarian, honestly, Josh. Like you have no, and I know you're not, but like you don't seem to have much of a grounding in the cultural realities that need to be maintained. Like you're just willing to kind of make deals all along the way.
Absolutely, like my job specifically, this is what I deal with when it comes down to cultures, right? You seem to think that people band together. It would be true in like the concept of we have to live together, right? But we're not at that point. We're going the other direction.
No, but we do got to live together though.
Groups out.
No, but if you're in the country, technically you're living together. If that person moves in, and I say I'm in an apartment, if that person moves in across the way, guess what? Got a new neighbor.
Do you think the far right and the far left are wanting to sit around and sing Kumbaya with their neighbors?
It doesn't matter. They still move next to them because the rent's cheap.
We're not hearing out.
No, because the rent's cheap. They move next to you because the rent's cheap.
I really do gotta cut this down because I gotta get out of here in a little bit. But I want to actually come back to this with you, Josh. I would like to pick your brain a little bit about this because now that we've hit on something I'm interested in, because I wasn't really into the whole you scaring all the blacks about all this racial hocus pocus boogeyman bullshit. That just doesn't seem like the more likely route. But the fact that your triage, as we're calling it, forces you to side with Islam over what you perceive to be like the liberal or democratic threat, even though Islam is technically more aligned with Democrats than the right wing of American politics. It's so confusing. We have to come back to this, Josh.
Oh, actually, I got a clip for you, Hood, that deals with this very thing. And the former Muslim guy was actually talking about how he laughed at them because they were using the Democrats or whatever. And there's another one.
I saw that clip.
Yeah.
You know what's so crazy? And I'm just talking to Freeman because you're a good color. Do you know that everything that the Reich did was based on American Jim Crow? From the 1930s to the 1940s, everything they did, they got from America. The fact that black people have been convinced that that mustache dude is a bad dude, he saved your life. America's gonna do that to you immediately, and until the world saw how he thought about what he did with the ovens, and it was like, oh, America was like, oh, we can't do it to the colors because we see the backlash. But that was a plan for you in America. Like Al saved your life, nigga, saved your legacy.
All right.
Give it to a bitch.
We got to get up out of here, y'all. It's been a long conversation. We went into overtime and everything. We coming up on the 3rd hour. I wanted to end this in about 9 o'clock anyway, so we got to get out of here. Hey, Josh, if you're around tomorrow, I'd like to come back to this conversation with you if you're around tomorrow at all.
I'll like I've got the subscription thing. I'll get the notification.
Wait, before you close the show down, Hood,
And before you close the show down, you best stop talking shit about me, you motherfucking cracker ass fed motherfucking glowy.
Before you close the show down,
you don't think I won't come fucking check you out? I will. Just ask Dirty.
Oh, wait. Before you
go back.
He already died once. He ain't scared of shit, motherfucker.
No, just yesterday. This happened yesterday. We drinking tequila, smoking cigars, and somebody said, "Yo, what happened to the Angry Snow Show?" And I said, "Yo, that's on me. I ain't did no show all 2025, bro. I've been bullshit." People
want to watch that show because I've been asked about it too, Dirty.
I don't, Snowman. I look. I'm gonna do better. It was a reason. I'm gonna call you and tell you I haven't done any shows in 2025.
I don't even believe you're going to call me, dude.
I'm gonna call you, my cracker.
I don't
you
believe
my only heterosexual white friend.
You, dude.
All my other
I've
white
been
friends is gay, bro. They liberal. You my only
Oh wow.
hate black people white friend.
Hey,
bro.
hey, the truth comes out.
I'm gonna call you.
Hey, one simple statement: the truth comes out.
No, but no. Hold on, Free. They all party promoters though, so they hook me up. They the best wingmen you can ever have in life. You know how much coochie done got with these gay fucking look. Anyway, don't worry about that. Yo, but you my heterosexual, and you do coke too. Like I did have some, but they all do coke and pills and shit. You do it too, but you don't try to make me do it to be your friend.
It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done.